I want you to do me a favor. Yeah, sure. I want you to hit me as hard as you can. What? I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Eagles Fight Club.
Hey yo, how many of y'all are giving Danny Jacobs a shot? They're the number 1 and the number 2 middleweights in the world. Gennady Golovkin, Danny Jacobs. Let me know your fight predictions. Does Jacobs have any chance, or is it the Triple G show? Hey, no, God. March 18th, Danny Jacobs will challenge the super champion Gennady Golovkin, Madison Square Garden. I want you to hit me as hard as you can. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with my original segment, Boxing Ego's Fight Club. This is something new, and I want to get the expressions and the opinions of you guys, the viewers. I post this on my Instagram account. Make sure you guys follow me there at Boxing Ego. Also like and subscribe to the channel. And there's a lot of interesting thoughts, so I'm gonna do this video and I'm gonna do the Fight Club probably now, and I'll probably end up doing it again. So this is round 1 of the Boxing Ego Fight Club for Gennady Golovkin versus Danny Jacobs, and I'll probably do it again closer to the fight. Now, my question is, what type of shot do you give the Miracle Man? Will it be a real miracle if he stops or beats Gennady Golovkin March 18th? And I want to know what kind of shot you guys are giving Jacobs, because there's a lot of opinions. And first of all, shout out to Al Heyman, shout out to K2, and most importantly, the fighters, Danny Jacobs and also Gennady Golovkin, for taking on this particular fight. To me, this is good, because we're finally getting to see a Gennady Golovkin fight where the opinions are somewhat split. A lot of people are saying, oh, Triple G, he'll plow him through. It'll be consecutive knockout number 24. But then you also have a base of fans who were like, nah, Triple G didn't look great versus Kell Brook. He took a lot of unnecessary shots. If he takes those same shots from a big puncher, a true middleweight, not a welterweight eating steaks and eating Chick-fil-A and all this to gain weight, but a true middleweight with middleweight power who's taller than him and can box as an amateur pedigree, is going to be a different fight, and it'll get interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably drop a 7 reasons. I'll definitely do the Boxing Ego first look, but I want to know from you guys in the Fight Club, Boxing Ego Fight Club, who wins this fight. On a scale of 0 to 10, what chance are you giving Danny Jacobs over Gennady Golovkin? And again, this fight to me establishes the true middleweight kingpin. These are the number 1 and the number 2 middleweights in the world. Golovkin being the number 1 and then Jacobs being the challenger number 2. At one point, I would say Peter Kid Chocolate Quillin was the fight to be had at middleweight for Gennady Golovkin. However, he got stopped in the first round by Peter Quillin, and that was a great, tremendous win for Peter Quillin, or for Danny Jacobs. And the rest is history. It set up other fights with like Sergio Mora, and now he's getting a big payday, and he's getting to challenge for middleweight supremacy. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. I'll be providing a lot of videos and coverage regarding this particular fight. Might even try to get out to New York for this one. This is overall a good fight, and I'm happy it's happening, because it's just been too long. We need to see, like, this. To me, this is another thing you got to look at. The winner of this fight and Canelo, that would be huge. You know what I mean? If Canelo's moving up like we think he should be moving up. I believe Oscar De La Hoya said that it was a team decision that Canelo is moving up to 160. The Liam Smith fight, he looked good in the fight, but at the weigh-in he looked kind of like gaunt, and he looked kind of stretched trying to make that 154 mark. So I think his body is probably rejecting, and it's going to be harder and harder and harder to stay at Canelo weight of 155 or 154. So he's going to have to move up. And again, if Triple G plows through Danny Jacobs, huge statement. And his claim for the Canelo fight just becomes even bigger. But like I said, I like the dynamic. Anytime you got 2 power punchers like Triple G, like Quillin, who knows? One punch could change anything. You know what I mean? You look at fights with other punchers, and it's explosive. You never know what's going to happen, because some people, let's say someone else is warm and the other person's cold, and they get hit with
those types of power punches. And I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, and this is not a fight prediction video or anything. This is the Ego Fight Club. But I'll tell you guys, all the fans who were out there saying that Gennady Golovkin, I always thought this was asinine, but all the fans that were saying that Triple G lets people take free swings and face shots, pause, he gives up free shots to entertain the crowd, that will be proven false in this particular fight. Because if he gets punched by Danny Jacobs, he's going to try to make sure that does not happen repeatedly. Like the Willie Monroe fight where he's like, nah, his punches tick, 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 tick. I guarantee you he will not let Danny Jacobs tick, 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 tick and tee off on his face. So X-nay that, toss that out of the window. If you know anything about boxing, you'll know that no fighter, and I'm not blaming Triple G for this, I'm talking about the stupid ass fans who believe that Triple G wanted to get punched by Kell Brook. Like, people, I've seen comments like that. They're like, Abel Sanchez already disproved that. But again, there's a certain core fan base who believes that Triple G's just out here trying to entertain, to the point where he's willing to give up free shots. Oh, he let Kell Brook hit him. He let him release those uppercuts because he knew Kell Brook couldn't hurt him. Yeah. That sounds idiotic. And you need to fire your trainer if you have a trainer who's saying that you should take and give up free shots because this is a welterweight moving up. Plus, another reason that sounds garbage is, why would we want to see or give credit to a person that can't hurt you? You know what I'm saying? Like, some people say Kell Brook is the best name on his resume. So why do we even see that fight if no matter what Kell Brook did, based on the size disparity, he would never be able to hurt Gennady Golovkin? You know what I'm saying? Why do you want to see it? Why would you give Golovkin credit? So you're better off just being a casual fan and refraining from saying stupid shit. Triple G is smart. He's not going to, he knows who's a big puncher. He knows Curtis Stevens is a big puncher. David Lemieux has a reputation. He's a big puncher. And also Danny Jacobs. So I fully expect a focused Triple G who's going to come out trying to pump out a jab and fight behind a jab and not do this whole, a lot of y'all get gassed up about this, the coin phrase, the Mexican style and all this. Triple G is not a fool in there. He's not going to try to purposely get hit by guys who are notorious punchers, and I think that was evident. But sometimes the thing that's interesting and intriguing is Triple G's, the way his defense is set up, he's there to be hit. You know what I mean? He doesn't really have the Mike Tyson approach in terms of like some head movement, upper body. He doesn't really show that. So it's gonna be come forward action. And then for Triple G's part, it'll be interesting. We've seen Danny Jacobs floored. He got hurt, or I don't know if he was hurt, but he got dropped by Sergio Mora. So a lot of people think that wear and tear and that constant Triple G pressure, like Triple G put, if you notice when Kell Brook was having success in those rounds, round 2 or 3 or whatever it was, Triple G got mad and he started getting frustrated. He kind of threw caution to the wind a little bit, but he was trying to take Kell Brook's fucking head off. Like he was going ham in there trying to land something huge and big, and it looks to me like Triple G has a very solid chin. Now, you don't want to rely on your chin in boxing, but Triple G, that type of pressure, can Danny Jacobs take that? On a scale of 0 to 10, you guys let me know that. Like, can Danny Jacobs take that constant pressure, having to think Johnny on the spot because this dude is trying to blast you out of this world? Plus, Triple G has that much amateur experience, 350 plus fights, good amateur pedigree, knocked out Lucien Bute, has a win over Andre Durrell in the amateurs. I think Durrell beat him also. I think they're 1-1, but he still has a win over him. And then pro level, he beat David Lemieux, Curtis Stevens, Martin Murray, and recently Kell Brook. So I also want to know who you guys think is the best fighter on Triple G's current resume, because that's the burning question. I even seen someone say Gabe Rosado. So who's the best name? Is it David Lemieux? Is it Martin Murray? Is it a welterweight and Kell Brook? To me, obviously, going into this fight, after it happens, if he beats Danny Jacobs, to me, that is the best by far name, and a guy with the type of momentum that makes for a compelling fight where there are no excuses. If Golovkin goes in there and destroys Danny Jacobs, he deserves props, because since the loss to Parag, Jacobs has been on the ascend. He's been climbing back up. He battled cancer, showed his championship level grit by doing that, because, and even coming back. The fact that he even came back to boxing is a feat in itself, because even though he beat cancer, they said he might not be able to walk again. From what I was hearing, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's something like, I think it might have been growing on his spine or something that was potentially crippling. So the fact that he came back shows you the man has heart, not just in boxing but in life. And since that point, he's knocked out, I believe, 12 people in a row. Golovkin's knocked out 23 people in a row. And other than that, Jacobs, he got a belt. He got the regular version of the WBA belt, and he knocked out Peter Quillen and Sergio Mora twice. So he's been on the up and up. The winner of this fight deserves the utmost respect and credit, and I'm glad it's happening. Let me know what you guys think. Gennady Golovkin, Danny Jacobs, March 18th. Welcome to the Ego Fight Club. Scale of 0 to 10. What chance do you give Jacobs? Drop that all in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.